Hello and welcome to Drive Time with Baker on CVFM Radio. We're very excited at the moment because we've got a really great guest in the studio who we'll introduce in a moment. But joining me, we've got Louie Howard. How are you doing, Louie?
I'm good. How are you, Baker?
Yeah, really good. Are you excited for the guest that we've got today?
I'm so excited. I feel like a kid at Christmas all week, just like...
anticipating it.
Yeah, I've just been absolutely giddy all week.
Well, for the people that are watching on YouTube, they've probably already seen who it is, so we'll introduce him now. It's Dimi Konstantopoulos, a former Middlesbrough goalkeeper. How are you doing, Dimi?
I'm good. Thanks for the invite. Good to be here.
We're really glad that you're here, and thanks so much for joining us in the studio today. It's great to have you in, and we're going to talk all about 10 years since the Middlesbrough promotion season, because I think in just a month's time or 2 months' time it will have been 10 years, which I imagine feels pretty crazy, so we'll reflect on all of that, how special it was, and just about your time on Teeside as well and what you've been up to recently. But how are you doing, and thanks just for coming in.
I'm good. At the minute I'm back in the area. I'm now coaching, and coaching journey is similar to being a footballer. You can be anywhere in the world. But being a coach is slightly different, because you might spend 6 months at a club, a year or 2 years, but it can change very, very fast. So at the minute I'm back in the area, back in Hartlepool in Teesside. I'm enjoying a little bit of peace before the next challenge.
I imagine it's nice to have a little bit of a break from the coaching, especially because it's quite full on. And I may as well ask you about that now, actually. So where's your coaching journey kind of taken you recently then? Because I believe you were back in Greece doing a little bit.
Yeah, I started from as a goalkeeping coach at Hartlepool United. That was my first coaching job. But my goal was always to progress from that to, because I wanted to coach the outfield players and become a manager eventually at some point. So after a couple of seasons, after I've been to Greece, then Scotland, then Cyprus, now the last 2 spells was back in Greece as assistant manager, and it's a progression, and it's like starting a new career basically, but you have the know-how and the knowledge from being a player, which helps. But it's exciting because I get to meet new people. I get to work with different players, different environments, and it's all good experience, and it helps in the long run.
So is the aspiration to become like, I know you mentioned you started off as a goalkeeper coach, but was it to become like a manager then?
Yes, that was a goal from the start. But being a goalkeeper, sometimes it's easier to get into the coaching roles as a goalkeeping coach, to break in, because you're the expert, and it's easy to get to land a job depending on your experience. So that's how I started. But the goal is always to become a manager. I'm more fascinated with coaching the full team. I always believe there's more potential to it. There's no ceiling, basically. You can get to wherever you want. As I said, it's a progress. Learning every day, learning every club I go, and it's exciting, and it's an adventure.
Well, we can't wait to see what's next for you on that journey. But like you say, you're back in Teesside at the moment, and you're taking part in the event that's actually taking place at Middlesbrough Town Hall in a few weeks' time to mark on Sunday 12th of April, I'll mention as well, which is celebrating 10 years of the 15-16 promotion season. So we'll talk all about that, because 10 years, it's really flown by, and Louie's here with us as well. What does that season mean to you, Louie?
So that was the sort of season that set out for me to start coming. So it was Wembley. So that season, that's when I sort of first started going, came to Wembley with my family, and then I wanted a season ticket from then on. And then it was one of those, my mum was like, no, you're just going to give it up straight away. And I was like, no, I want a seat. So I made a bet, if I go up that year, can I get one? Went up, got my ticket, and I've been ever since. But it just, everything about it was mint.
Hooked.
Exactly, that was it. It was hooked from then on. It was just like, right, I'm just never not going to the football ever again. So it's just every weekend it's just been Boro, going here, there and everywhere really. But it was just everything about even the town. The town just felt so much happier for it. Being in the Premier League, it just meant sort of everything to the area, I felt. But it was just amazing. Class.
It was a special season, and trying to think of where to start, because you kind of go back to what you mentioned there, Louis, like, and of course you played in the match, Dimi, the loss at Wembley against Norwich, which for any team it's a heartbreaking game to lose, really, that playoff final, because it's a lottery, it can go either way. So tell us a little bit about, you know, how it felt at that point after you lost that game in May 2015.
It's horrible. As you said, it's a horrible way to end the season after all the efforts the whole season. We did really well. Weren't really seen as the favourites to go up, but we pushed hard, and we got to Wembley, I think, on merit, and we just didn't. Everything about this day went horribly wrong from us arriving at Wembley, which was a mess, because we didn't have a police escort, and it took us 2.5 hours to get there on the bus. So we arrived at Wembley about 45 minutes before kickoff.
Because they didn't even get to warm up, did you, either?
Not properly.
Yeah, I remember that's the one
everything.
bit I remember. It was like not getting the warm up, and it was...
So, because everything was rushed, I think that's why we found ourselves 2-0 down in the first 20 minutes, and from then on it was an uphill battle, and it was disappointing because we didn't go out showing our full capabilities, because we played Norwich twice that season. We beat them twice. Obviously, it was a different game, bigger occasion, but we thought we were good enough to, if we play our game, to at least give him a good game, and that was the disappointing part. But I think the fact that we had such a close-knit unit in the dressing room, and good personalities, that didn't put us down. It just made us more determined to try to do better next season.
They always say, don't they, I think if you go up through the playoffs, it's the best way to go up, but if you lose, then it's obviously heartbreaking, like what was experienced that summer. But obviously you need to regroup, and then you lose key players. That's some of the likes of Patrick Bamford, who was your top scorer that season. He goes, but then you bring in quality, the likes of Christian Stuani, obviously comes from abroad, and then David Nugent as well, who was a proven championship striker at that level. So what was it like getting the group back together again for the next season?
As I said, we had good characters. We had a solid infrastructure, a lot of players that we've been together for a few years. So we formed a great relationship, and we were lucky that the new guys that were coming in, they were straight away adjusting to our way of interacting with each other. So the gelling and the chemistry was very good in the dressing room. But sometimes you see teams that go to the playoff final, and the next season they struggle to stay up.
Yeah,
they get relegated. So it's not always we're always going to do better next season. We had to sort of start from scratch, start from the beginning, and take each game at a time. But we added quality, as you said. Players, Christian and the Stuani and the Stu Downing came in.
Of course, yeah, returning.
Yeah, Downing came back that season, didn't he?
Yeah. So we had great quality in the team. We knew that we were labelled as favourites to go up, which adds a little bit more pressure. And if you don't have the characters, it might work. It might don't work for you. It might go the other way. So, yeah, it was good to be back. We could feel the determination that we had, because we were talking about it, but it didn't make it any easier. It was a long season, and we had to fight for it.
You've got that pressure on you, I think, haven't you? Because, like you say, you've been in the playoffs, so you're expected to build on that, and it can go one way or the other because you've seen both examples of teams that have gone and done it automatically the next season, like Middlesbrough that season, and then you've got Huddersfield like a few years ago. They were in the playoff final, and I can't remember whether they went down the next season or the season after, but they went the other way after being in the playoff final. So I bet it's a hard thing, but you could talk so much about that season, but just sum it up to us. How special was it, that season?
It was brilliant. It was like a movie. The season, it had everything, and the togetherness was there inside the team and outside with the fans. You could see it. Our travelling support was unbelievable. We were playing games at Brighton, and we were feeling that we were playing at home. The numbers were the following. But it had its ups and downs. We had games that we lost, we didn't expect it. We had incidents.
I think Louie's going to touch on that in a moment.
That's one of what I was going to ask about.
Yeah, but overall, I think the season is, because we went up, the season was always going to be memorable. But it wasn't so much the end of it, the result. It was the journey towards the result, and the journey was so good and so fulfilling as an experience that it made going up even better, even sweeter.
I think when you have a successful season, you're always going to experience the highs, the lows, and everything in between, because I guess it's just football, isn't it? You have to take the rough with the smooth. But the one thing I was going to ask before Louie mentioned his point about a couple of incidents that occurred was, for the most part, you had a dressing room that was together. Everybody was looking to achieve the same thing, and you mentioned the word togetherness. Do you think in a side that's going for promotion from the Championship, having that togetherness in the group is one of the most important things?
Definitely. I've been in many dressing rooms in my career as a player and now as a coach. The most successful ones are the ones that either got promotions or won things, are the ones that the chemistry in the dressing room is good. You could have a team of brilliant individuals. If they don't gel together, you're not going to get a good team. You can have a team of good players, but if the chemistry is right, the team looks great. And that was one of the reasons that we kept together that season, and we've gone through the hard times, because that's the main issue. If you have brilliant individuals, when the hard times come, when the defeats come, this is when it's harder to get back to winning. But if you have that togetherness, and you have a common goal, there's no sort of backstabbing and egos too much flying in the dressing room, then it's easy to correct the course and just carry on with your going another winning run.
It's all about how you bounce back as well, like you mentioned there. And Louie, I'm going to pass over to you again, because you mentioned there, Dimi, about a few incidents, and one of the most famous incidents from that season is when I think a lot of fans were probably worried that everything
was about to go very wrong,
going to crash down. And Louie, I'll let you ask Dimi about that now.
It was after Charlton, wasn't it, with the whole Karanka?
Before Charlton.
Was it just before Charlton? So it was
after Rotherham.
There you go. He was there. He remembers it better than me. What sort of, with the team, once that did happen, was there any sort of change with the sort of togetherness, even with the manager sort of not being involved for, was it around 2 weeks? Yeah, 2 weeks he wasn't involved. What was it, the sort of feeling around the team then? What was sort of, how was everyone feeling?
It wasn't. We still knew that we had a job to do, but the circumstances had changed, so we had to adjust, and it took us a couple of games to adjust, I think, because we lost to Charlton.
Yeah. And
the next game, Aito came back, but that shows the impact it had, and Charlton were all but relegated, I think.
Pretty much, yeah.
And we went there and we got beat 2-0. So yeah, it did have an impact, but I think we knew we let ourselves down on the day. You know, we didn't play, either the manager's there or not. You have some standards as a player and as a team that you play the full season. So we didn't hit those standards on that day, and I don't want to sound as an excuse that the manager, it was because the manager wasn't there, but it did play a part.
Yeah, because a lot of the sort of outside noise, does that sort of get to a player, especially with sort of something like, you know, the whole Karanka situation? No one really had much idea what was happening. Were you sort of, everyone was still sort of focused, but also still had that in the back of their head? Do you think that sort of definitely had something to do with it?
It's not an everyday thing to happen in a club, especially when you're 10 games away from winning promotion and you've done that well. So yeah, it was strange. It was something that I never experienced in my career, and I bet many other of my teammates. But it was a situation as a professional you have to deal with, and you have to go out and perform. But in today's football, when you have all the social media and all the exposure all the time, it's hard to block everything out. And sometimes you hear things, you hear different scenarios. Like I've had some really sci-fi stories about what happened. You know, everyone had.
I was going to say there's plenty stories about what happened, but obviously only the players and obviously Aitor knows the actual.
It wasn't really wasn't nothing extraordinary. It was just a disagreement.
Yeah.
Which led to the manager thinking that is no longer not wanted, but will not longer have the same frequency as a team. Yeah. And if he was started thinking maybe it's time for him to step down. In the end, that wasn't the case, obviously, because he came back and we went to 10 games and beaten run, and we got promoted. But situations happen in a dressing room all the time. The best thing is to stay, behind closed doors and to sort out between you. But when it spills out, that's when it escalates, and something maybe which is a misunderstanding becomes national news, and that affects everyone. But in the end, we had a good ending.
I was going to say a very good ending.
I always think as well, like when you were talking about social media there, like when you look at the difference in 10 years as well, because like if you look from 2016 to 2026 and how different social media has become within the last 10 years since that happened, it's like, can you imagine that happening now? It would probably be so much bigger as well, given the difference in what happens on social media now and people's opinions.
These days it will be AI fights of players. You don't know what to believe when you're seeing it.
You'd have like AI videos of everybody fighting in the changing room, like you're saying. People would say, is this real? Is it not? But I think, like you mentioned, Dimi, it's all about how you bounce back, and obviously the team did that perfectly and went on to achieve what had been the goal all season.
That's the key in the championship, from my experience, because I spent a lot of years in the championship. The team that gets promoted, it's not the one that it does well when everything is going smoothly and you win game after game. It's the one that bounces back from bad results. If you lose a game and it takes you another 2 games to recover, you lose ground and others catch up and they go above you. If you lose a game and then you start winning again, these are the teams that they go and win automatic promotions, or they go in the playoffs and be successful. So that's for me. It's how you deal with adversity in a season in the championship. When it's good, it's good. Everyone's happy. It's when it's bad that people have to show togetherness and character and personalities, and that's what we had that season.
I was going to ask you about your particular favourite moment from that season, because the moment I think of is when you had the ball against Brighton, when you caught the ball and you knew that the whistle was about to go any second, and all of the fans were lining up behind you, ready to sprint onto the pitch. It was just a matter of when the ref would blow the whistle. what was that moment like? Because that's a moment as a goalkeeper that must be an amazing feeling when you know you've caught the ball in a game that means so much and the whistle's about to go.
It was. It's a bit of a blur still. I sometimes have to watch it to see exact details, because at the moment, you know, when you're in the heat of the game and it's that dying seconds, which we didn't know because the referee gave 8 minutes injury time.
Oh, because Gaston Ramirez.
Gaston's leg open, wasn't it?
But the clock stops at 90 minutes, so we didn't know which minute it was. So when the ball came in, obviously, naturally, I would go and collect it because I was, you know, my the strong part of my game, coming out for crosses. So as I was coming out, I remember thinking, oh, I'm going to get battered here, because I was expecting the whole Brighton team to just barge on me. But the lads, I think Danny, Ayala and George protected me well. So I went up, I thought, oh, there's no one there. So I picked it up. I went down and I remember the whole stadium celebrating like we scored a goal. So as I'm holding the ball, I'm thinking, I can't be long left. And I got up and I keep eyeballing Mike Dean. blow it. So I had to kick the ball and then he blew the whistle, and the rest is just, you know,
carnage.
Carnage, excitement, elation, relief, every feeling that you can experience.
I think that moment as well in any football match, even when you're just winning a league match to get 3 points, that moment when the goalkeeper catches the ball in injury time and you know that the whistle's about to be blown, it's just really important anyways. But in a game of that calibre, I bet it felt like the longest 8 minutes of your life probably, Dimi.
Yeah, it did. You could tell, because watching the game back, we were playing against 10 men and we had opportunities to go and score the second. You know, we had a lot of opportunities, you know, where we could break because they were pushing. They had 10 men, they would leave one behind, and we had chances to get the ball, just play forward, make a run and go and finish the game. But you can, you know, we all understand the nerves at the time and everyone wants to get rid of the ball and, you know, everyone is on edge. But yeah, it's a good moment. It's a great moment. I didn't realize, because until after the game, Leo came to me and said, the game finished with the ball in your hands. You should have kept the ball. And I was like, I should have. But the ball was long gone by then.
Just launched it. I wonder who got that ball. I wonder if anybody took it home with them.
Someone surely got to have that on display somewhere. It's got to be.
You'd think so. The amount of people that were on the pitch when that ball got launched into the air.
All stands, all 4 stands, apart from obviously West Upper. I feel like everyone was on the pitch.
I turned around as I was going to celebrate with the boys. I just glanced behind me. There was about 5,000 people running me.
The entire South Stand's running after you, like as you're going as well.
We'll need to put that out there. If anybody's listening to this and they've got the ball that Dimi launched into the air after the whistle blew, do get in touch as we'd love to know where that ball is. But you described it as a blur. What is that moment like when you have the whole stadium running onto the pitch and about 5,000 fans from the South Stand behind you?
It's brilliant. It's what football is about. Football is about. Someone said, football has got 9 bad moments, and you keep playing and you keep trying for the 1 out of 10. That it's a moment like this, and that was what it was all about, you know, and experiencing the joy of the fans as well, because we knew, as I said, that the fans in the club were very tight. They've always been, and to see that there and to see that weeks after, you know, because as you said, the town was buzzing for weeks. The town was drunk for weeks, you know.
Yeah. It's just everybody had a happy feeling, didn't they, in the town, because that's what football does as a game. Even just a football team can have such a massive impact on a town or city when things are going well on the pitch.
Sometimes I go on YouTube and I watch individual clips from fans, you know. Either it's watching at a bar or they live these moments. And I see the reactions, and that makes me happy because you know, you see when you play, you don't see those things. You know, you see the well done and the, you know, maybe the social media. Dim is the best. Dim is this, whatever. But to see the actual moments that the final whistle was blown, the reaction of the fans everywhere, even around the world. I've seen some videos. It's different because you get into that, you can get into their shoes, and sort of experience their joy at the time. And it was some brilliant clips as well that I've seen, and that makes me even happier because we did something not just for us, we did something for the whole town,
for everybody, and for memories that will last a lifetime for all of the supporters involved. And there's a great video on YouTube as well, which I'm sure you've probably watched. It's the 2015-16. It's called A Boro Promotion Story.
Yeah.
And it's got like a bit of music on it. It starts off with Coldplay and Viva La Vida.
As a Boro fan, you'll watch it at least once a month, and you just think, oh, maybe this year.
And then
just hopefully again.
It dips, doesn't it, when when you have the rough part that we spoke about. It has some like sadder music, and then it comes back with Seven Nation Army, and then it finishes with that moment with you against Brighton. I've
seen a video on YouTube. I can't remember where it was. There's a pub, and it's showing the game on a big screen, and it's full of Boro supporters. And I think the minute the ball goes launched into the air, before I catch it, the silence of the pub, those couple of seconds, no one, like the noise goes down, and then as soon as I catch it, there's drinks spilled everywhere, jumping at each other. It's crazy.
Everything just erupts at that moment. It was a special time. It really was, and I think a lot of people are hoping the same will happen, which we'll speak to you about soon, and we'll talk to you about like Teesside as a whole as well, and the importance it's had on your life. But Louie, I think there was a few more points that you wanted to ask Dimi about that promotion season and going up as a record breaker too.
So with that team, you went up as a record breaker with the sort of defence in front of you. Were you ever sort of worried about facing anyone? Because obviously you had such you had Ben Gibson, Ayala, George Friend, like big lads who are very good defensively. Were you ever just sort of, anyone you came against, did you ever sort of have points where you were like, oh, he's a bit good, or was it always just we're like easily best in the league?
No, we had a very good understanding between us. It wasn't just it was George, Danny, Gibbo, Emilio, but we had backups as well. We had good Thomas Callas was good. Richie Delat when he came, it was really good. So we had options. Amarabieta as well. So we had good options everywhere on the pitch, but defensively, we just didn't like conceding goals. If we won a game 3-1, us at the back would be devastated for the week,
Really?
Because we conceded one, And I didn't like conceding goals, and I was really focusing on keep reminding the boys that it's a clean sheet. They can do the job up front, score the goals, but we have a job to do. And obviously that led to the records, but there wasn't any team in the championship, especially, that would look and think, they're dangerous now. We thought that if we concede, it's because we didn't do something well, not because they're good enough. You know. So we always try to rectify our mistakes. But the covering that we had between us and the understanding, because I knew the boys in front of me, the strengths, the weaknesses, they knew mine. So we always, as a unit, that made us very good.
Yeah. Then as well, your sort of coach at the time was Leo, who was like in Middlesbrough an absolute hero. Everyone loves him. Everyone knows Leo. What was it? To me, Leo is an absolute lunatic. He's mental. I loved him. I thought he was great. Brought loads for the fans. As a coach, what's he like? Sort of, how do you see him?
Leo's passion. Leo's his emotion, and that's his biggest asset, I think. And for me as a coach, it was very good because he understood what I needed. I was at an age, I was 36, 37, I think, that I needed specific things during the week to keep in top form, top condition. And he gave me that. He knew when to push me and he knew when to let me relax. So we had a routine that we both enjoyed, but also the mental aspect of what he gave to me, provided to me. It was always good feedback, as in effective. Once he said to me, because as a goalkeeper, I was never flashy. I was never doing the saves with my legs go over my head and upside down and stuff like that. And a lot of the times, he said to me, people saying that when you make a save, or the ball was straight on the goalkeeper, or easy save. Most of them are not easy saves, he said. You're not flashy, he said, but you're effective. That's the most important thing as a goalkeeper. And I try to carry that on, because I understood that this is the whole point. It's not about me, the ball coming over my head and punching it and flinging my legs up for a corner.
Yeah, nothing for the cameras.
And then people say, what a save. I'd rather just stand up and catch it and look like an easy save, but I saved my team a corner against.
Yeah.
So yeah, he helped me a lot that season, and the season before, of course. But we had a great understanding, and it's important, not in the game. The whole thing goes the week before when you're working or behind the scenes.
I mean, yeah, it's just everybody loves him on Teesside, and he's become a legend of the place. Which a little bit like yourself, Dimi, as well. You know, you had the restaurant as well when you were playing Great, which was just up the road on Linthorpe Road. So tell us a little bit about how Teesside has had a big impact on your life outside of football too, because I know even before you came to Middlesbrough, you had a spell with Hartlepool, and then you carried on afterwards, went back to Hartlepool and had a spell with Thornaby as well.
Yeah, well, my life's been here around Teesside for the most part of it, and since 2003, I think it was, when I came to Hartlepool, and I didn't have a clue what that place was. You know, I've never seen it on the map. Someone told me there's a team Hartlepool want to see you, and I thought, Liverpool, Hartlepool, what could be the difference? So I just jumped on a plane and came. But like in Hartlepool, the same in Middlesbrough, people were a lot more pure, a lot more open. You know,
Yeah.
There was not much agenda. The fans were more. They had a simple way of asking from the team, from a player. You know, if you give 100%, we'll back you, and you don't see that much these days. And that's what really made me feel like home, because I came to Hartlepool, and the fans took me in straight away. And as soon as I started, you know, I signed for Middlesbrough. I think after the first game, the fans took me in as well. And
Yeah.
it's for a player that is, you know, from abroad, it's not easy. You know, usually you need to prove yourself
settling
for
in.
a season or for many games. But it was straight away, and I felt that connection, and that made it a lot easier for me. You know, going into games and listening to your name being sung on the stands. It's a great relationship for every player. No matter how some players, they cannot admit it, it's a very good boost for a player to perform.
I bet that's a really important thing, especially when you talk about settling in as well. When you've come from a different country and you come to play here in the UK, and it's like the thing that's great about like this area, and I think like rivalries aside, you can even account for the whole of the Northeast as well, as how much people love their football in this region of the country.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They live football. You know?
Yeah.
And it's that's why I said I wanted sometimes when I watch clips, I look at the people, because you can see that people are living it. You know, it affects them sometimes in their everyday life. You know, if the club does well or not, and that's the purest form of being a supporter. You know, and as I said, you can't find that everywhere, especially in today's game.
It's an amazing thing, it is, and it was a special season if we go back to it, and like you say, many happy memories, and you'll be reflecting on that again in a couple of weeks' time on the 12th of April at the Town Hall with a few other members of that squad. So how are you looking forward to getting back with some of the boys and just reflecting on that special season again?
Oh yeah, it'll be brilliant to see the lads again. Have a bit of a banter again. Get a few memories from the past. See how they're doing. We keep in touch with with most, but others have scattered everywhere. So it'd be great to see them in person and have a reunion, and it'd be good to share that with the fans as well.
And we'll point out that tickets are still available and you can get them on the Middlesbrough Town Hall website now, but it'll be a great night for anybody going to just relive all of them memories again. But we've had a few questions from fans, Dimi, which have come into us, which we'll ask you about now. Me and Louie will do these one by one, but we'll begin with this question that's come through from Harry, which is one that I think a lot of people will probably want to ask you. Do you think Boro will get promoted this season?
I certainly hope so. This is the part of the season that is the most crucial one, everyone says, and it's become tight. I still think Middlesbrough will get promoted. I still think they have enough quality to get through the remaining games. But football is football, so it'll be the crucial part for me will be, as I said, to bounce back, because hopefully they can go on a run every game as a win until the end of the season. But if it's a draw or if it's a defeat, how do you bounce back? Because these games, they're not coming back. It's the most crucial ones.
The most important part of the season, isn't it? And it's about who's going to be the most consistent in them games. Louis?
My question is, how did you build a relationship with your defence? Did you train together? Did you do things off the pitch to build chemistry with each other, like, I don't know, going out food, anything, what was it that sort of made you gel and sort of create that?
The relation was the same with the whole team. We did things together. We used to go on meals together, on nights out together. But the defenders, because you obviously train more together in training sessions, you build that first by having the same mentality. It's good to have the same banter. It helps. And building the trust, basically. And that the trust comes through training sessions, through games. You prove to each other. I prove to them that I have their back. They prove to me they have my back. And that's how it's formed. In the end, it becomes a solid unit full of confidence.
Yeah, that's what I always found whenever you sort of watched how much the sort of defence did sort of stick together. Like, it was always sort of like the back, so like obviously yourself, and then the four defenders who always just sort of ended up together at the end, sort of celebrating with each other.
The next one that I've got is, what was Grant Ledbetter like as a leader? Of course, captain of the side that season.
Led is a top man. He was truly a leader. He would, in games, he would know how to react to, if we needed that extra push, he would just, give a shout or get everyone switched on. When we needed at times to relax, to calm down, he would do that. And because of the fact he was a midfielder, he could control the game. And they had a great relationship with Clates and Adam Forshaw as well. So yeah, mentally wise and throughout a game, that's when you need your captain. Outside the game, it's basically the manager, but inside the game, your captain is the manager, the mental manager of the game. So he was very good at that, and it showed in the games that we, especially when we scored first, there was no chance we would lose the game. It didn't happen many times, I don't think, that season. So yeah, that showed that starts from the captain and it just goes through the team.
I think you certainly need all of them traits to be a successful captain in a successful team. But Louis, over to you again. I think question number 4.
When you sort of first joined Hartlepool in 2003, it was on a trial basis. So how did that sort of come about, and how did you sort of find moving to the UK compared to sort of where you'd been previously?
I had at the time I was on trial in Spain, in the second division Spain, Championship Spain, a good club. I was there for about 2 weeks. The night before I left, they offered me a contract, which I was going to sign the next day. But I always had a bug with playing in the UK because I was a big fan of Peter Schmeichel when I was young, and I liked to watch English football. So I had this bug that I wanted to do it, and they offered me the contract. I was going to sign the next day, and the same night, an agent calls me, and he says, "There's a team in England that want to see you." I said, "Which team?" Hartlepool. I was like, all right. And I jumped on the train, 4 o'clock in the morning. I left the hotel from Malaga, where I was. Sorry, from Jerez. Took the train to Malaga, got on the plane, left. They were looking for me the next day to take me to training from the Spanish team. I just disappeared. And I landed on Teesside airport, and they picked me up, and I was in a 5-star hotel in Spain, and they put me in a bed and breakfast in Seaton Carew.
a bit of a change of scenery.
Big difference there.
And I got into the room and I thought, "Oh, what have you done?" But I didn't care. I didn't mind. Someone was picking me up, taking me for training, and it was different. As in what I left back.
Yeah.
5-star hotel, training facilities, brand new stadium, and all that. And we were training at Hoffel College, and with Hartlepool. It was different, but I still had that determination that I wanted to play, and I was loving it. And after like a month or 2 trial, I had a short contract. Then I signed a longer term contract, and then I played it for about 4 years, I think.
Did you go to enjoy Seaton Carew seafront a little bit more whilst you were at Hartlepool?
I was going for walks by myself. I didn't know anyone. No one knew me. I just landed there with a bag of with a suitcase of clothes. Someone was picking me up, dropping me off. The motel, the B&B owners, Howard and Sue, they had a dog, Chloe. I've stayed there for about 3 months. They nearly adopted me. But it was good. It was a good experience, yeah.
And yeah, it's a nice place, Seaton Carew. We'll put that one out there. And we've got a couple of comments that came through as well. Teesside Tim says, "I hope I pronounce this right because I believe it's a Greek dish. Get that Zaki and Ouzo at the ready. The man's a legend."
Tzatziki and Ouzo, yeah.
Yeah, he comes with that. Apologies for any of my pronunciation. Then Jacob also says, "That man could have saved my mum and dad's marriage. What a keeper." So lots of appreciation coming through for Dimi, and we're going to finish off with some quick fire questions. It's been a pleasure to have you in the studio. We'll go one by one with these, me and Louis, but we'll get started with who was your best friend whilst at Boro, Dimi?
Well, I've been asked that before. There isn't one lad. We had very good relationship with everyone, and on nights out or the meals we had together. There wasn't one. I could spend a lot of time with each of the lads in there because we had such a good chemistry in there.
Louis,
your favourite player that you've ever played with?
With?
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough. One.
We'll give you 2. You can have 2.
2. Right. As in, sorry, I need to clarify the rules of the question. Favorite player as in quality-wise or as in personality?
We'll go quality. So
Quality.
best player.
Best player.
Go with then.
I played with. Eddie Johnson, who was ex-Barca and Chelsea.
Class.
We played together in Athens in Greece. Definitely quality-wise, unbelievable. and a good lad as well. And another one, I would say, that's tough. Quality-wise, technical quality, football-wise, I would give it between Lee Tomlin and Gaston Ramirez.
Yeah.
They were both magicians.
I was going to say, both absolute jokes footballers.
They were
so good.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of leads us on perfectly to the next one as well, because I was going to ask, who was the best trainer you saw at Middlesbrough? Because for me, the best technical player I've seen in a Boro shirt, it's a toss-up between either Adama Traore or Gaston Ramirez. But, you know, you hear footballers in interviews a lot. Sometimes they might say a best trainer's somebody totally different to who you could expect. So who was the best trainer that you saw at Middlesbrough?
Trainer, as in again, training hard.
And like most like skillful and impressive in training.
Oh, definitely. Lee Tomlin was a joke in training.
Really?
Adama as well. Adama was just when we used to do 1v1 drills, everyone going with Adama against Adama was like, shit.
He was just so quick.
Because you knew he just throws knocks the ball and he goes past you, like, you know, you don't even see him. But yeah, I think these two, yeah.
Did Adama lift weights? Do you remember when he came up with that comment and said that I never lift weights in training?
Actually, I never seen him in the gym.
Really?
Actually, I seen him doing sit-ups and push-ups in the dressing room, but never seen him in the gym.
Oh, he's massive. I always just had never believed him because of how like
I always said to him, mate,
always popping out of his shirt as well. That was like he was just huge.
I used to wind him up. I used to say to him, "You're in the wrong sport, pal. You should be a 100-meter sprint."
He was very fast.
I bet you'd never want to race against him in training, like you say, because of just the sheer speed. Unbelievable at running, and one of the most exciting players I saw in a Boro shirt and could really get you on the edge of your seat. He was just one of those. Next one, Louis.
Your favourite thing about Teesside?
Favourite thing?
Yeah.
Favourite thing. I said it before. The purity of the people, still, you know,
It's still the same, yeah.
this day and age, you know, it's you with people in Teesside. You get what you see. Basically, there's no agenda or you know what I'm trying to get from you. The people are more pure. They're more open. They're more simple things that they want, and it's good to see still happening in this day and age, which, you know, everything is going a bit it's up, sorry.
Best night out in Teesside, Dimi. What was your favourite bar? I know there's a famous promotion party at was it the Dickens, I believe?
Can't remember much of that.
I was going to say tell us about that night, but if you can't remember it, then
We had a great night on the night of the promotion at the Rockcliffe, which I remember halfway of that. And then obviously the next couple of days we did the Dickens, which was us inside and about 1,000 fans outside.
everybody joined in.
Yeah, and but I really enjoyed nights out in Middlesbrough. You know, we had with my best friend who was here as well, Nikos. We used to go to a bar called Macy Brown.
Oh
Brown's,
yes,
yeah.
Macy Brown's.
Yes, and we always gonna end up in the Dickens, you know, and it was the rule.
You'd see supporters in there that had just celebrated a clean sheet earlier that day.
Yeah, it was fun because I used to want to go to the section, the Dickens, that it was more quiet. But my friend, because he liked the rowdiness, said, no, we're going there. As soon as we walked in there, it would be like that.
Everybody's forming you in there, but like you say, it just goes on the fact of how much football and the players mean to people
Yeah.
in this area. we've got a football one before Louis asked you something about a famous Teesside delicacy to finish with, which I think you might know what that is. But who was the hardest opponent to play against as a goalkeeper? I imagine there was some strikers that you never really fancied being one-on-one with, or them taking a shot against you because of their goal record. So any of them that were particularly frightening? I know one that I thought of that you probably had a lot of games against was Ross McCormack.
Yeah,
he's always quite a big goal scorer.
Yeah, he's a top player. Well, when I was younger, I was in Portugal. I played against Cristiano Ronaldo when he was still at Sporting, and you could tell he was going to be unbelievable. He didn't score past me that game, though.
Slip that bit in there that he didn't score.
Thing, yes. But tough opponent to play against was. It's strange. There was a striker played for Huddersfield, I think, and many other clubs. Michael Vaughan. He was tough in the sense of, first of all, he nearly broke my ribs twice. In 2 games, I came out to collect the ball and just tackled and hit me straight in the ribs. But in every game, I remember a game 3-0 up against Huddersfield, and he was chasing the ball like mad. They were making a back pass to me. He was sprinting, trying to tackle. And at some point I went to him, mate, you lost the game, relax. So yeah, he was tough.
So some good opponents, and like Louis said, I'm glad you slipped the commenting about Ronaldo not scoring past you in there. But Louis, go on, ask the burning question, which anybody that's spent a lot of time on Teesside that isn't from Teesside gets asked.
Do you like the Parmo?
Who doesn't?
That's the answer we'd love to hear.
That's all I wanted to know, Dimi. We were long enough. I know when you had the restaurant, you did like a Greek version of one.
Yeah, did a Greek version.
I thought it was great. I quite enjoyed it. But where would you say your favourite one was from?
The Parmo.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't really, because I didn't grow up in Teesside. Yeah. Every time I have a Parmo, it tastes delicious. So it doesn't matter where it's from, you know.
Well, accept that one.
So I can't really pick one.
Right.
Every time I have one, I think, wow, that's great, you know. So I think it's good from everywhere. Maybe you can tell the difference, but I can't. Taste the
when
same
you're from here, you can always tell.
Yeah.
But we'll accept that answer. Like you just like them all.
Yeah.
A great way to wrap up on the Parmo, and a great answer, Dimi. But thanks so much for joining us again. It's been a pleasure to have you in here to reflect on all things of promotion season, your time on Teesside, and just some football memories in general. So thanks so much for joining us, Dimi. A pleasure to have you in again.
Good to be here.